How we feeling? How we doing? Good. Good. How about maybe we start in the back of the mat standing up for change, a little bit of change. Just to recognize the mat. Just to recognize how it feels on the toes. The heels, the toes. Alright. Tippy toes. Come up to the tippy toes. And then the heels. And then the tippy toes. Up in the tippy toes. High up on the tippy toes. Long on the tippy toes. And then the heels. How's the jaw? How's the neck? How the shoulders, the left, the right side? How about the every connection everywhere? We're going to the tippy toes. Lengthen up and then reach back. Every connection moving everywhere. Come down, little squat, and then back up. And then back down, squat, and then back up. And squat down, and then back up. Folder, walking forward plank, chaturanga, first one. Take your time. Up duck. Down duck. Exhale. Awesome. 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 Knees, left knee, right knee. Bend and extend, lift and drop your heels. Think about your fingers, think about your wrists. Left leg up in circles around the hip joint. Right leg up in circles around the hip joint. Couple times each side. Drop the heels. How low can they go? Can we touch the mat? How does it feel behind the knees and the calves? How about your shoulder blades? Try to bring your shoulder blades away from each other. The chest pressing back towards the thighs, and we move our shoulder blades away from each other. Index finger and thumb pressing back and down. Lean forward to a plank with a round back. Lean forward to a plank with a round back. Lean forward to a plank with a very, very, very round back. Then drop, bend the knees, drop the tailbone back, drop the tailbone back, drop the tailbone back, and eventually lift back up, down, down. Couple of rounds. Back and forward. So first, forward to a plank with a round back, 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 and then exhale, bend the knee, drop the tailbone, eventually lift. All the way up. Couple of rounds. More. Forward with a round back, every part of a round back, plank, round back, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, and then back up, down dog, and then one more time, round back, plank, round back, plank, round back, plank, round back, plank, and then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, and down dog. Exhale. Awesomeness. 2 right leg lifts. Knee to nose. Right leg lift. Knee to the left elbow. Right leg lift. Knee to the right elbow. Right leg lift. Knee to nose, and this time we'll hold it by the nose, on the nose, hold it toe. Eventually steps through between our hands, runners. Awesome. Awesome. Let's move a little. Pyramid, runner's lunge, pyramid, runners. It doesn't matter how it feels. behind the knee, hamstring, low back. We're going back and forth, but then consider also sideways a little bit, right? We can maybe drop forward to a Skandasana, maybe the knee drops, maybe we twist, and then reverse, back to that runners, yeah, back to that pyramid. Then we twist the other way around. We drop the left heel left, right toes right, getting a deep stretch on the top hip. Couple breaths and then back runners, back pyramid. Eventually 2 rounds, 3 rounds going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Hold it forward. Runner's lunge, forward, hold it forward. Crescent, slowly crescent, torso, arms, inhale. Cactus, a little back bend, exhale. Crescent again, inhale. Twist to the right, water wheel, exhale. Reverse, drop your right hand back. Left lifts. And then we make it into a goddess. We circle the arms, we open to the left. Heels in, toes out, and then drop. Exhale, exhale, goddess. More weight on the pinkies, on both toes. You can move a bit side to side, hands on the air, hands on thighs, hands to heart center. We can go left and right. Maybe dropping down to the sit bone and then back up on both sides. And we just notice how it feels. Left, right, awesome feet. Tuba. We're gonna eventually meet back in the runner's lounge at the top. Take your time. Runners forward, forward. Allow the hip to move. The round, the whole range of motion moves. And then back down, plank, chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog, take your time. Down dog eventually. Exhale, awesome. Awesomeness. Sweet. Left and left. Knee to the left elbow. So close. Left leg lifts. Opposite elbow. Exhale. Left leg lifts. Knee and nose. Hold the nose, by the nose, hold it. Close to the nose, rub back nose, 2. And one eventually steps forward between her hands, runners. Lounge. And we move. Pyramids. Runners. Pyramid pose. Runners lounge. Back and forth, 3 rounds, 5, 7. Maybe more, maybe less. Remember, not only back and forth, but we can also add sideways. Right? We can maybe drop left side, Skandasana, the knee forward, the seat goes down, maybe we continue twisting around. How is that for the hip? How is that for the thigh? Awesome. Reverse eventually. So until we find that twist to the other side. Left heel on top. Getting that stretch. Couple breaths. 2. 1. Runners. Eventually back to runners. Couple pyramids. Couple runners. Couple pyramids. Couple runners. Runner lounge eventually. Crescent lounge slowly. Torso. Arms. Cactus, a little back bend, exhale. Runners, crescent technique. What a will to the left side, exhale, twist. Reverse left hand drop like lifts. Inhale, 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 and then goddess to the right side. Take your time up and up. Exhale as we drop the hips. More weight on the pinky toes. On both feet, pinky toes. On the side of the pinky toe, so that knees continue opening outwards. And then we're moving left side and right side. Hands, no hands. Maybe sit bones that drop and back up on both sides. Up and down, left and right. Neck and shoulders. Every single thing. Awesomeness. We'll meet eventually back. Runner's lounge. Right here you're going to experience a whole range of movement change. Inhale, see. Whoa. And then back down, plank. Chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. And down dog. Exhale. Awesome. Awesome. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees a little. Step jump or float to the top. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold it down. Exhale. Up to standing up the whole way up. Hands to center. And then by your hips. Exhale. The jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Every collection, every connection. So we can enter eagles. We start with eagle. First the jaw, the neck. We make sure we open space. Start with the left arm on the right on top. But then again, take your time. There's no rush. Left arm, the right on top. How much do they wrap? The whole round? Maybe, maybe no. The jaw, the neck, the shoulders moving back and down. With a free neck. With an open neck. Upper back, middle back, low back. Start to find that imaginary chair. As we develop space around the neck. As we develop space around the upper back, the middle, the low back. Left arm under. Left leg will lift and wrap over the right. Maybe halfway. Maybe as well around the calf. Think about an object that we can look at. Square your hips and shoulders forward as much as possible. We lower down with every exhale. We move our hands and elbows away from the chest and the face. 3, 2, 1. Start to lift, our feet come together first. And we continue lifting like a wave. We keep the arms bound as much as possible. Vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, lifting and continue lifting through the arms. All the way up through the arms. Whenever enough is enough. Whenever the shoulder calls it enough. Cactus. Exhale. Inhale up. And then center. Right. Awesome. Everything, jaw, neck, shoulders, upper, middle, low back, hips, knees, ankles. Right arm is going under now. Left on top. Take your time. Think about your neck, your jaw, and then how every connection works as a unit. Upper back, middle back, low back, opening up space on the areas where we need it. Everywhere. From the top of the head, all the way down to the tailbone, all the way down to the toes. We start to find that imaginary chair. Eventually we'll start to sit back in our imaginary chair. And then this time the right leg will lift and wrap over the left. Maybe halfway. Maybe around the calf. We keep our hips and our shoulders squared forward. We lower a little bit more with every exhale. We're moving our elbows, our hands away from chest and the face. And then of course we breathe. 3. 2. 1. Lift feet together. And like a wave, continue with the arms bound as much as we can. For as long as we can, whenever the shoulder goes enough, cactus. Exhale. Back up. Fold it. Exhale. Awesome, peeps. Halfway lift. Inhale. Plank Chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. Down dog eventually. Exhale. Awesome. Nice. Super nice. Right leg lifts the whole way up. Let's go ahead and step it outside of the right hand all the way to the top. Off the mat. And then again, let's move. Lift in the hips. Feet, hands stay where they are. Just gonna lift and go back forward. Up and down. Not just the knees, not just the hips, not just the back, but we're including the shoulders. And we're including the neck as well. And then again, we're going back and forward, but then we can also move a bit sideways. See how it feels if we drop that left heel down. Up and down a couple rounds. Alright? Maybe we find that stretch and then we can drop the toes a little bit to the right side. How does it feel? Back, forward, side to side. Knee straight, knee bend. Little bit of movement everywhere. Nice. Super nice. We meet back in that initial stance we were found at the beginning. We drop the left knee. Eventually we drop the left knee, top of the left foot down. Gonna flex the right toes, right hand forward and up. Up, 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 and then back, exhale. Our palm keeps open to the ceiling. Back up, and then back forward, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5 more rounds. Back and forward. Maybe feel free to bend your left knee. Reach back, hold it. Continue dropping the hip. Continue opening the torso. Continue opening that right hip outwards to the side if that's the case. If you're holding, pull the heel closer to the tailbone. If you're not holding, maybe that movement continues back and forth. Hips keep dropping down, right knee, right femur to the right side, and the chest opening to the ceiling. Toe toward the ceiling. Look over the right shoulder and twist. 3, 2. Awesome, nice release, but center. Awesome, right foot in, between your hands, back to the middle, center, flex the left toes, back foot back, half split back, how far back, and then eventually back forward. 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, hands on the floor the whole time, maybe no, maybe hands move to the thigh or the hips or the low back or clasp behind our back. Adding a few back bends as well as we move back and forward. And again, 3 times, 4 times, hands overhead, behind your neck. Maybe drop that left heel and notice how it feels. Slightly different on the inside, psoas muscle within. Splits. Sure, you're working on splits. That left, the right heel slides. Anything. We're playing. 3 more breaths. Awesome. 2. There you go. You got it. And then eventually, 1, we meet back at the top. Finish walking that foot to the left side of the mat. For a pigeon, half pigeon, we drop the knee behind the wrist. We square the hips, left leg back, long behind us. Right foot may need to move closer to the groin, or maybe we feel super flexy today. shoot it up towards your left hand, towards the top of the mat. We are squared, hips, shoulders squared. We're gonna take a few breaths, between 5 and 10 breaths, and we have a few different options. We can find our sweet spot, fold forward, and maybe that's it. We just allow the torso to fold. Maybe we'll reach our hands out in front of us if that feels better for your low back, for the spinal cord. Imagine that we're getting longer forward as we continue squaring the hips. 5 to 10 breaths. Keep it. Maybe part of the practice, maybe something that we like to do. There you go. Anything that you like to play with, maybe overstretch or twist a little. Left side, right side. If you're working on that king pigeon, maybe you reach. Maybe we can just go halfway. That foot moves inside of the elbow. Maybe just halfway, right? Maybe the shoulders are not open enough that we can reach all the way, but maybe we can reach the inside of the elbow, and then maybe our hands can connect overhead. Eventually we want to drive both arms, both shoulders over and grip, but this is a great beginning. Anywhere, 3, squaring the torso forward, allowing the hip to keep opening, yeah, awesome, 2, 1, back down, release, hands, grounded hands, steady hands, torso, left toes, core around the spine, making sure spine is always safe. Take your time, no rush. Right leg lifts. Try to keep the left heel down, and then eventually right hip opens up, bend the right knee. Exhale, look below your left armpit. Can we see the toes? Hanging. Right knee keeps lifting as the toes drop. We keep the shoulders squared. We go for circles around the hip joint. Sure. Clockwise and counterclockwise a couple rounds. Wild thing. Absolutely. If that's the case, we stack the left shoulder on top of the left wrist. We make sure that the left foot is grounded. Look at those back legs, please. 3. Two. From there, we're gonna move into a fallen angel. So we go back center, right leg will move under and through, out to the side. Maybe it drops, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't matter, lift. Either way, lift. 3. Ribcage, lift away. Stay balanced, 2. Awesome. Opening through the ribs, Keep the leg out, a little push-up just to stretch that hip. Exhale. 3-legged dog, eventually right leg lifts. Plank, chaturanga. Exhale. Hot dog. Down dog eventually. Exhale. Alright. Super duper left leg lifts. Let's step it outside of the left hand, top of the mat. Exhale. All the way to the front. Make enough room for your shoulders, for your hands, and move. Up and forward. Up and forward. Back and forth a few rounds. Remember, we can also play with this approach and again find Skandasanas. Find little twists. So we can only move it back and forth, but we can also find some options. Right? Up and down, left and right. A little bit of movement everywhere. Just imagine what your hip joint can do. It's a ball in a socket, just like that. Not that, another tripod. So it has a lot of range of motion. A heel huge angle. Eventually, we drop the right knee forward, top of the right foot down, we flex the left toes, right left hand up, allow the tears of the chest to open up, and then reach back as we exhale. Back up, and then back forward. Exhale, and again, 3, 4, 5 rounds, exactly the same, or maybe we bend the knee as we reach to eventually take a hold. Maybe your hand, maybe inside the elbow. Hips keep dropping as the torso, the chest keeps opening up to the ceiling. Left knee opening out to the left side as well. All of them together as we breathe in and out through the nose. Awesome. 3, 2, brilliant is eventually center. Back to that initial setup. Left foot moves in between our hands. Center. Flex the right toes and then half split back. And then back forward. Back and forth, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times. Hands on the floor, maybe. Hands on the thigh, maybe. Hands on the hips, low back. Clasp behind you. So many options, back and forth. But then also sideways, right? What happens if we drop that heel? And the knee stays down. On the left. On the right. How about the neck and the jaw? And the upper and the middle. And the low back. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times. Remember, split is also an option. And split is also an option we can take for a bind. Awesome. Awesomeness. And we breathe through the nose as much as we can. 3. 2. Nice. Eventually, we'll meet back at the top. So we finish walking that foot for that half pigeon. Over to the right side so the knee drops behind the left wrist. Squaring the hips. Finding the perfect approach, squaring the hips and then figuring out if the left foot needs to move closer in or we can push it outwards. Knee should be happy. We don't have any pain on the knee ever, no matter what. We find the sweet spot. Square forward, shoulders, hips forward. And then again, it's gonna be 5, 10 breaths. Maybe we fall forward. Maybe our hands stay below the shoulders or the elbows. Maybe we reach our hands forward, away in front of us. Far away in front of us. Maybe our hands are not even touching. Maybe we play with king pigeon. Remember, there's so many options. We can twist a little more to the left, to the right side. It's playtime. So we play. If we're working on that valve, the shoulder doesn't really work on that right now yet. Maybe we use this. There we go. Yes! And we breathe. 3. 2. Awesome, peeps. Slowly release. Eventually back in our hands. Round of hands, torso, leg, right toes. Everything making sure spine is safe, always safe. At your own pace, no rush, left leg lift. Try to drop your right heel down, and then when ready, left hip opens, left knee opens, and exhale, look below your right armpit. Can we see the toes hanging over the side? Circles around the hip joint? Absolutely. Clock, counterclockwise. Wild things? Heck yeah. Like to play with it? We play. 3, 2, that fallen angel will happen eventually. Left leg will move under, through. Maybe it drops, maybe it doesn't drop. Either way, whether we're opening up or holding, balancing or holding. 3. Awesomeness 2. Look up. Keep the leg out. Little push up. Both hands down, left leg out, little push up. Three-legged dog, left leg lift. Eventually, inhale. Plank chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. Down dog eventually. Exhale. Nice. Super nice. Inhale, look forward with the knees a bit. Step, jump, or flow to the top. Exhale. Halfway lift. Fold it down. Always standing up. Leg away, fold the way up. And fold it eventually. Exhale. Awesome. Halfway lift. Plank. Chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. No rush. Every vertebra. Maybe the knees lifting. Maybe the heels towards each other. Down dog. Eventually. Exhale. Awesome. Let's bring our feet wide to the edges of the mat. We walk back, we bend the knees. Drop the tailbone until we find the squat at the beginning of the mat. All the way back. Heels down, no arms. We try to extend our spine. No arms. Left and right. No arms. Left arm shoulder drops. Extend that elbow under the left shin. Couple options, right hand pressing on the right femur. Couple of breaths. Option 2, right arm moves all the way back and around, left elbow bending, and then eventually connecting our hands behind us. Awesome. We can play even further. Can play into a variation of a bird of paradise. Right? So as we hold, we're gonna bring that right foot in forward, a little more center below the torso. And keep it that bind. Center of attention, look at something that doesn't move. We can give it a go and try and lift. Anywhere we're going, anything we're trying, we do 3. Give it a go, give it a go, that was amazing. 2. Eventually, when it's right, we'll meet back into that squat. We'll make our way back down into that squat. Boom. Boom. Arms to a diagonal. And then back center. Exhale on the jaw, and the neck, and the shoulders, upper, middle back, low back, hips. Everything. So we can try the other side. Now the right hand drops and extends. Right shoulder drops as low as possible inside of the knee, so then it can extend on the. Option 1, left hand pressing on the left femur. Option 2, we reach the whole way around until we find our bind. Either way, we're gonna keep opening the torso, we're gonna keep opening the rib cage, up towards the left side, up towards the ceiling. And then again, we have time to play. Maybe with that variation of bird of paradise, right? If that's the case, we find that left foot on that center of gravity, below the center of the torso. And we give it a go. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, who cares? Yes. And we play. And we balance. 3, 2. Eventually we make our way back to that squat. Take your time. No rush. Arms on a diagonal eventually. And then back center. Exhale. Alright, halfway lift. Back to squat. Exhale. Halfway lift. Back to squat. Exhale. One more time, halfway lift, maybe back to squat, maybe we play with crow, halfway lift, maybe squat, or maybe we're making sure our hands are steady, start to bend the elbows, the knees behind the triceps, we lean forward, try to stack our center of gravity a little better. If we can lift one foot, couple breaths, fantastic, we do that. Do that with both sides, a couple breaths. Maybe both feet get to lift. We're just playing, testing our center of gravity, seeing what's there available this morning. And we play for 3 breaths. 2. Awesome, it's awesome, one more. We'll meet back in a squat again. Eventually, exhale, halfway lift, hands to the hips, exhale, hold your hips, grab your hips, send your elbows back towards each other, and then when ready from the ground up, all the way up to standing up, inhale, long spine, elbows back, a little back bend, eventually hold your hips, your low back. Exhale, 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 eventually back up. And release. And the neck, and the jaw, and the shoulders, and the upper, and the middle back, and the shoulders, and the elbows, and the wrists. Fingers and the hips, left, right, and the knees and the ankles, and the toes. So peeps, how we doing? How we feel? Good. Let's balance a little bit. 3 pose, easy 3 pose. Maybe a little more complex, half lotus, maybe figure 4, and we would like to play with that flying pigeon. It doesn't matter. Start with the right leg as our base. We open the left hip 3 pose, maybe connecting the heel, the ankle, or maybe inside of calf, inside of the hip, the thigh I mean, or maybe inside of the hip, half lotus. Maybe a figure 4. Maybe we'll play with that figure 4 as well, regardless of where we are. 3. Steady in stillness, maybe no. 2. 1, I'm going to play with that figure 4. So I'm going to take that foot just above the left knee and flex the toes. Hands to heart center. Our goal will be to bring the elbows, the triceps, inside of the left foot and below the left knee. So when ready, you're going to fold. Until we connect those together. If your hands drop, fantastic. That left foot is pressing on the tricep. That knee is pressing on the left one. You got it, again. Maybe so much so that we can start to separate what's going on around the torso and the right leg. 3, 2, up. Slowly back up. I'm going to release her leg. Shake it. Left and right and up and down. And then we're ready to move to the other side. Left leg is our foundation, right hip opens out, maybe the ankle, calf, inner thigh, maybe half lotus. It doesn't matter which, find the one that works. Hips feel different, each side is slightly different, so just honor what's there this morning. It doesn't matter where. Bit of movement, maybe no. 3, 2. Awesome, let's use 1. We're back center. We start playing with that figure 4. We're going to bring that foot lightly lower, just above the left knee. Flex the toes. We flex the toes because that's where the left tricep is going to hook, right? When ready, if we're folding, slowly fold. Feel free to bend that left knee as you fold. It doesn't matter how low we fold. If we do manage to bring our arms inside of that foot, inside of the knee, fantastic. If we drop our hands, awesome as well. Make sure the leg is working, the right leg is pushing, is kicking the tricep, so that we can separate the effort that takes to lift the left leg back. 3, 2, stand up. Slowly up. Great. Hold, plank, chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. Down dog. Exhale. All right. Let's drop down to the knees for a sec. Toes, flex, we sit back on our heels. All toes, pinky toes. Let's play with camel, a little bit with camel. Up to the knees, hands up. Maybe hips, maybe heels. Either way, there's a string attached around the rib cage, and that string is pulling a 45-degree angle forward and up. And we breathe. gently back to a child's pose. Exhale. Awesome. Couple breaths, thinking about our distance, the distance between the knees. We want a deeper stretch or no. We want a little more relaxation or no. Either way, whatever that just makes it better for you. We'll meet back in a tabletop for a second when ready. Cross the ankles. Sit back and we'll meet eventually on a straddle. On a wide straddle, maybe not so wide. The jaw, the neck, shoulders, palms facing up so the shoulders have to roll back. So we can then move side to side and see how far do we make it. Ankle toes, beyond the toes, how far out to the sides. How far to the right and then how far to the left. Awesome. Overstretch, switch. 3 times each side, 4 times each side. Anything, peeps. Anything that feels just awesome. We also fold forward. And then forward. Doesn't matter how far forward. Notice if there's any difference as we point the toes compared to flexing toes. Notice how your knee feels and your quad feels. If there's one that just serves better than the other or different in which ways. 3. Look forward and forward. Look up and exhale. 2. If you're all the way down, imagine your feet can still go even wider and then your straddle can become even more flat. More 180. 2. Awesome. 1. Slowly we make our way back up. We walk our hands back, lean back, we bend the knees, ground feet, touch feet. We hold the toes, we hold the feet. Long spine, inhale. And then we fold it forward and we can just melt. No hands, no elbows, no torso. It's just breath. It's just inhales and exhales, that's it. Or if we're holding our toes, if we're holding our feet or ankles and we use the arms to get our nose or forehead closer to the toes, closer to the floor, absolutely, we can try that every exhale. So deep inhales. Maybe we're just hanging, maybe we're getting closer to the floor, exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then one more time, inhale. And one last time we fold it, exhale, exhale. We make it back up. Shoulders up, back. And then down behind us, hands behind us, fingers pointing forward. Shoulders back and down, chest leading the way, knees together. Reverse table, inhale. Back down to a seat. Exhale. 2 more rounds, a little bit higher each time. Inhale. And then when we're ready, back down. Exhale. One more round, maybe back down to a seat. Maybe we hold it up a couple breaths. Inhale. And then again, maybe we come down to a seat, maybe an L seat with our hips hovering off the mat, knees straight. 2, 1. Awesome. Long arms, torso, folded. Feel free to bend the knees. This is totally cool. As we breathe, as we move, we may get to extend the knees. Feel free to bend the knees and try to bring your ribs and your thighs to connect. After that, a bit of breath, a bit of movement, we can extend the knees, extend the knees, extend the knees. But if we're not exactly flat right away, totally cool to bend the knees and start that way. Anyway, we are 3. Awesomeness. Think about your back. Feel a bit rounded. Try to overcome. Try to extend your back a little longer toward the toes. 2. 1. Back out to a seat. Shoulders up and back and down. All the way to the top of the mat. Hands up. Point the toes. Now round back with a lean back with a round back. Low back, middle back, upper back. Eventually cervical as we make our way down. Long back eventually. Over the mat. Then your knees are on your feet. Playtime number 2. Inversions. More back bends. Wheels, bridges, spinal twists, knee center, and then we drop right side, then we drop left. Playtime, anywhere we are, whatever it may be. Think about whatever that's part of your practice. You know it's amazing, you know it feels awesome, and you know it's going to be just right. Think about something like that you never do. But still, today feels like a good idea, good opportunity to give it a go. Whatever it may be. Something balanced. Inversions, twists, back bends, revolts. There's literally thousands of things. But I'm sure you have a group of favorites. So maybe today, right now, we can give it a go for one of those favorites, maybe a couple of them. How do we feel? Awesome. Resting pose at some point, doesn't matter when. Will happen. We'll find balance, equilibrium between the left side, between the right side. We'll find the torso and the arms. Flat, long on our backs. We'll find equilibrium, whatever that means this morning. If we need to adjust the shoulders, left or the right side, if we need to adjust the hips, if we need to adjust the fingers or the toes or the ankles or the wrists or the jaw, anything that just makes sense, anything that just feels awesome, maybe a couple stretches, right? Morning stretches before we find that resting pose. Maybe there's something else. Boom, boom. ready to just melt down for a minute, a couple of minutes, just letting the blood flow travel as freely as possible. Imagine molecules of oxygen moving in the lungs that then mix into the blood moving that oxygen all over the body. All the millions, billions, quadrillions, quintillions of cells that we are. That's basically what we are, a collection of cells. Using that oxygen as a fuel to do whatever it is that they need to do. New skin, new muscle, new tendons, new bones, brain cells, optical nerve. Right now, working as efficiently as possible, making sure that we repair, grow new stuff, get rid of the old that we don't need anymore. Right now is a good time for that efficiency to work at a pretty high level. So for a minute or two, we let it. And we breathe. Grateful for every action, every idea, every thought, every conversation, every meal, every single second spent doing something that makes me happier and healthier. I'm grateful for each and every single one of those things that I take the time and the effort to do. Thank you so very much for sharing your practice with me this morning, peeps. Thank you very, very much. Beautiful practices. Hope you have a wonderful Friday weekend. You'll be around Sunday morning. I'll be back 9 a.m. If you're joining class, that'd be awesome. See you next time. Namaste.